in the wonders of the wild, Ava. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? Look at that. We found a good sized stick. Thing is, it's too long, but we're gonna use this end and we're gonna sharpen it, put a hole in it, and find a way to get some good vine and make the primitive tool. So now that we have a big old stick, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off the big branches and keep the thickest part, which is that bottom part. Like this. It's gonna take a little bit, but we'll do it. Here is this piece right here. This is the piece I'm gonna use. I'm gonna skin it. This is what I have so far. It's almost done. I just need to get this tip right here, and then the whole thing will be skinned. And we can put a rock up here and then have a weapon. Here it is after we let it dry out a little bit longer. Here it is. Here's the handle. Be like this, or maybe like this. Yeah, this way is better. And now we have to find the perfect stone for this, and then we'll make the club slash axe. Well, it's more just like a tool. So yeah, we're gonna head down that way. We're just gonna follow the river down till like we get to like a big field or something. But till then, we'll just keep walking down until we find a really good stone. Yeah, I think I've shown it up close like this, but what I might do is where I'm holding it, I might shorten it right here and keep this side long. I'll split it right there, then add the stone, and yeah, we're heading this way down, and hopefully we find a big stone right here, and hopefully I don't get allergies. If I get allergies, that will be very bad. There's a lot of rock over here. I haven't been over here in a long time, but check it out, the slides. That's cool, huh? They got, I forgot, but I remember people would swim here and then they would slide down from over here, I think. It was either this one or this one right here. Maybe it's down more, but I kind of remember it was like right here. There's a nice waterfall. This is pretty nice. I think it's right there. That's where the slide is into this big pool. But look what else I found. Minecraft pickaxe. Ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Dang. I don't know what this area is, but it's like, it has a bunch of trees that are knocked down. And it looks like some people tried building forts out of them. Oh, look at that. There's one over there. That is like the coolest one I've seen all day. There's some over here that's like all right, and some over here, and some scraps here. But this one takes the cake. Found a really cool spot up in the mountain a little bit more. Not going all the way up. That's way too steep, and I'm only wearing sandals, so I just wanted to see the view. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start heading back now. And the coolest stone I saw would be this one right here, like I showed. This one right here, this one's like almost perfect. I won't hit it with a rock, I'll just sand it down. That'll take a little bit of time, but I will record when we get back. All right, so I'm gonna try to put this together now, because if it just fails, then I don't wanna have to head back and not get another wood and stick, whatever breaks first. But it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be like that, but like that. I want it a little low like this, so we have a little bit sticking out the top. If it's too high, then it's just gonna look weird. Too low, and it's just not gonna look right. That place just right here. All I have is a knife on me, and this is what we're gonna use because it's what I've used to cut this part off, this little stem right here, and then this part right here is where I'm gonna have to cut through it, like make it hollow. I don't have any drills or nothing, so this is gonna be the hard part. But after that, it should be super easy. Have a finished hatchet, I'm gonna call it. So yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, we got it hollowed out. This took like an hour with just this. Literally just took an hour trying to get all of it out. I don't know, it took so long, but it's supposed to be a little bit shorter, but it's already past an hour. This is what it looks like so far. Gonna add it in. It's gonna split a little bit, but that's what you want so that it hugs the wood hugs the stone. And then this is what it will look like so far. Now we're gonna get some rope and starting to tie it up, but we're gonna slowly head our way back. So yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. What it looks like so far. That's pretty incredible that it does that, even without it being rope and stuck, because it still does this. It still flings off like that, but you know, it's getting there though. We have to make our way back. I might grab a different stone for this because that one is way too heavy. Even though it works pretty well, it's still a little too heavy, but we're gonna slowly make our way back. It is hot out here. It is really hot out right now. I thought my allergies were gonna be way worse. They're not bad. A little runny nose, but my eyes aren't hurting. I think I'm doing all right, but who knows? They might kick up here in a little bit. I made it back safe. I made it back safe. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm okay. I'm okay. All right, after I rested, now that we have this axe, I found some string on the way over there and back from my little adventure. This is enough to tie it around the end of the stick with the stone. But what I want to do first is I want to kind of sharpen this stone up a little bit. I like the shape it already is, but I kind of want to, you know, straighten it out a little bit more, maybe sharpen another side, maybe just this side right here, and then give it more of a curve so that it can fit in more snug in here without cracking. So we'll do a time lapse of that. Probably somewhere over there. Yeah, this is a good spot probably. There's not really much area to use. This stone right here is pretty flat. We might use that to sand. But pretty much just sanding this stone, then putting it on the stick and then wrapping it up, and then maybe adding some other smazzy stuff to it to, you know, you'll know when it's working when the color of the water starts to change to the color of the rock. And that's why you have to find a smooth surface to sharpen and dull down or shrink the rock to the proportional size of the stick. And yeah, it's almost there. It just needs to be cleaned up just a little bit more. I'm trying to sand this side, but it's taking longer than I thought. So yeah, I'm not trying to be out here all day, but it definitely needs to be sharpened down. At least one side needs to be sharp, and then this side just needs to get flattened. And then it'll be able to fit inside of a piece of wood here without being so heavy to where it might break the stick or the rock will shatter itself. So, keep sanding away! Okay, it's sharpened down a little bit. What I did was give it more of a curve and then gave that point a little bit more point. It's pretty sharp to where it will cut down a tree, and that's what it's kind of going for. So now we just have to attach it. Like that now. Spot. Yeah, that looks about right. Be up just a tad. There we go. Here's the rope, but this rope, I found it, so I want to technically count it as something that will be worth, like, hey, I found it, so I'm going to use it for this project, you know? And I'm going to start. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. Look at that. That is pretty cool.
And I've always wanted to make one since I first been, like ever since I have gone camping, I've always like, camping, I always wanted to try to build one of these. And now that I have, isn't that freaking awesome? Let's go try it. Let's try it on this dead tree. Oh, it's not sharp enough, but it still works. I know there's some vines around here I can use that would help wrap around the hatchet. What is this? I guess we can call it like a hatchet or an axe. It's definitely a primitive tool, which is really cool, but I'm gonna try to find some vines to wrap it in. The one problem I have with this is that it's really top heavy, but I think that's a good thing because you could really wham something. You can really kadam something, just boom. So I got this piece of stick that was fresh that I found, and what you want to do is you want to cut down the line to get the skin. This skin right here, not the centerpiece, the skin, because that skin works as a really good rope. You can turn it into rope or threads or whatever you need, and it's really good. Look at that. Pretty much separated it, and you pull like that, like you're peeling a banana, but it's a stick, you know? Look at that, it's kind of satisfying. Oh yeah. Okay, can't see my face, doesn't really matter. We made it back to the ranch. This is the good stuff, because if you don't have rope on hand, this is what you use in the wild. You can peel off a nice stick, and you're left with a really good stick for anything. Literally be anything. And then you have this rope here, which is super handy. And what you can do, also something I learned, is it kind of bruises like a banana. Anyways, take the ends, start splitting them. After you have multiple strands, what you can do is you can braid it, or you could just add it all together. I'll show you. Look at my mouth. Oh, there's this weird little bit at the bottom, but I kind of like it. I'll cut it off though, because it needs to look nice. That's what we got so far. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. Nice. And then what I kind of want to do is cut this down just a little bit to where, because it grips my hand, but I kind of want some engraves right here, and then I kind of want to wrap it just a little bit, wrap it in something as well. So we'll do that as well. What do you think, Dad?
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, Jackson. Let's try it out.
That's legit. Is that like what you use to tie it, like the rope? Is that from a tree?
Yeah, it's the skin of a tree, and
Bark.
yeah, the bark, and then I tried smoothing it down earlier, but it's
on there really good too.
yeah. Glad you guys like it.
Impressive.
Thanks. And there we go. Amazing primitive axe / weapon / tool made by hand using only one pocket knife. I'm pretty impressed with myself, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy how this turned out too. Huh, buddy? I'm gonna get you. Oh shit. Is that cool?
Hell yeah.